Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slapendipity, Hobos of Happy Slappy Town, episode 79. My name is Devon, but you can call me Gibby, and I'm here with Eric, who you can call Eric.
Hello.
Okay, so, are you drinking something right now? What are you drinking? What are we drinking, fam?
Nothing.
Water check? Hydration check?
I have no hydration.
Everyone at home.
My own spittle.
Everyone at home, unless you're driving or something, just go get some water. Go get a nice drink. Maybe electrolyte drink. That's fine, but water. Okay, everyone, we're gonna wait 10 seconds, and you're gonna go get some water. While we're waiting for them, Eric, I have a secret for you.
Okay.
Okay, here's a secret. You're not allowed to tell them. They're not listening anymore because they're going to get water, so it's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
When I drink red Powerade, it makes it look like I have lipstick, and I don't know how to solve this problem. Do you have any tips?
Lean into it. There is no solution. That was intentional and by design, and you should just embrace that.
So that happened once. I've already recorded a video where I had the Powerade lipstick, and I did just make a joke out of it and move on, but I think if I keep doing it, it'll become like it'll go from tee hee ha ha to like, oh, he's doing this on purpose, which I'm not.
Well, you know what you could also do?
What?
Embrace it in multiple different ways. Have a glass of milk, get the milk
Ew.
in a stash, and then be like, haha.
Oh, hey guys,
No.
you back? You got your drink? What do you have? What do you guys have?
Oh.
Tea? You got some tea? You got some...
Tea? Okay.
You got some juice?
I've never understood coffee, personally. I know so many of you have grabbed that, but, like, I just never drank it. I missed out on the craze, and
I stopped.
I don't know.
It's so bad for your teeth, so I stopped drinking it. It's also, I have a problem with caffeine, where it's super effective on me. So it was just like, I was drinking too much. This is when it was free at work, right? I could get as much coffee as I wanted at work.
Yeah.
I was drinking too much. It was bad for my teeth, so I just stopped cold turkey, and it was fine.
Okay.
All
right. Well,
let's have our first topic of the episode. We've talked about nothing so far. Absolutely nothing. Don't rewind. So, Eric, do you have any stories to tell us?
I do have some stories. Without getting too into detail, but being detailed enough for, I don't know, a podcast or something. It could be a little family trip of a cruise in Alaska.
You went on a cruise to Alaska?
That's right. I did. Once in a while, my family, my parents got really into cruising from my grandparents. So that's just how they vacation. And that's okay. That doesn't say anything about them. Definitely not.
What are you even implying that would say about them?
It's just, they're just kind of old.
Oh, okay.
They stopped listening to this, so it's fine, I guess. So we went to Alaska. Have you ever been on a cruise? Do you know how the general rundown works and stuff?
Not even a little bit. I would love to go on a cruise, though. Hit me up, chat, if you want to go on a cruise.
Okay, so they do occasionally have sales where it's like, oh, if you go with 2 people, each person can bring someone for free. So, you joke, but... So basically a cruise, it's a certain amount of days, a certain amount of nights. You learn, in advance, like, the route that will be taken. So in this case, we went to possibly not in order, possibly in order. I forget. Sitka, Skagway, Juneau, and then British Columbia, Canada, because it's just right there. And we were leaving from the Seattle port. So you get a little calendar that's like, okay, day 1, everyone boards, and we don't go anywhere because, we don't leave until 4 o'clock or whatever. So that's like half boarding, half it's a sea day. Day 2 is all being on the sea. We're not going to be in any port. The cruise will take care of you. Like the ship, they have plenty of food, plenty of bathrooms. You get your own little room like a hotel. You'll be taken care of, but like mentally, you will be on an ocean the entire time for 24 hours. And then it's like, oh, day 3, we make port in Sitka, Alaska at, it depends when you get there, 7 a.m. I believe Juneau was like 4 p.m., stuff like that. And then you're like, oh, I get off the ship and I run around and I explore Teehee. And you can explore on your own, or you can explore with the ship, like Royal Caribbean, Norwegian ship, whatever, various ship lines. And they'll have like an excursion section. So you can be like, okay, I do a salmon bake that is registered with the ship, and like I will pay for it with these people and they'll take care of everything, and then I will be taken care of. Because one of the real possibilities is the ship will leave without you on port.
That's terrifying.
But if you book with them, with their excursions, and they will not leave you behind, because their promise was like, we will take care of you in this excursion. Part of that taking care of you is getting you back onto the ship. But yes, it's a real, like, there is a real news story. I forget when and where exactly, but this woman, like, got off the ship on her cruise and, like, was just exploring the town on her own, missed it when the boat left, and then was stuck in a country that she, like, barely, like, didn't know the language of, and, like, had to figure out how to get home.
There's also a story where a teenage girl, like, went missing, and then they never found her. And then the family was like, we need to find our daughter. She was, like, kidnapped. And the cruise was like, that sucks, we're leaving. And then the family was left there to, like, deal with the local country's police and, like, try to find their kidnapped daughter or whatever. And then it was like, wait, what if she was, like, kidnapped while she was on the boat? Like, what if, like, did she fall off the boat? Did one of the cabin boys get her? Or was she, like, kidnapped by a local? It was a whole thing. It was never solved.
Okay. Great.
That's what I think of
I'm glad I know this.
That's what I think of when I think of cruises.
All of the staff people I've met have been very nice, which, they're supposed to be, I guess, but, so, yes, you gotta get on the ship when the ship says we're leaving at 7 o'clock or whatever. And, yeah, I would say that's the general rundown. There's, like, a dining room, there's various specialty restaurants of, like, it depends on your ship. Every ship can be a little different, but, like, they'll have, like, an Italian place, a Japanese place, a steakhouse place that you pay extra for, and then it's a lot of the cruising is, like, how much do you want to spend in advance to not do anything on the ship? So, like, you can, in advance, book the restaurants you want to eat at, or maybe you just eat at the complimentary dining room the entire time. Maybe you get a soda package or an alcoholic package, so you can, no, they don't call it
alcoholic
that.
Package.
Adult beverage package. I don't know what they call it. So that you get, like, a special glass and free drinks and whatever. And then they'll have, like, activities. Like, this ship had, like, a bumper cars, a rock climbing wall, an Xbox room, kind of more geared for the children. And it had, like, half a dozen pools and hot tubs. And then they had, like, an 18 plus, like, pool section for adults only, which was just quiet. Everyone was just like, I don't want to deal with a child. And I would say that's generally what's going on in cruises. They have casinos on them typically, but they're only open when they are sailing, because international or water rules don't apply to land rules. So yeah, it's a pretty chill time, and you just make whatever you want out of it. And if you like boats in the water, you'll get plenty of that.
What if you don't like boats in the
And then
water?
get Nenade, I would say. Uh, to me, the ship is big enough. Like, you could just not leave your room, and I don't think you would notice that, like, you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean. You could, or like, they have like bars and stuff. Like, you can like be on the interior of the ship and like kind of low key trick yourself that you're just in like a town or something. Our ability to civilize on the ocean is like kind of crazy. You will, depending on the person, like, you know, and if you have your sea legs, will be affected. I'm pretty good with my sea legs, so I never need to put like the little sticker behind my ear to help with motion
I
sickness.
don't think that's real.
What?
That putting a sticker behind your ear helps with motion sickness.
That's what the people do at the very least. Because man, when you get a full sailing day, I'd say half of the population on a cruise ship has the little sticker behind their ear, and they're like, whoa. Maybe it's placebo effect, but people do it.
I guarantee it doesn't work.
I'm reporting what I'm seeing, and you haven't even been on a cruise.
True.
I will say at night when it was like the sea day, and it was like, okay, time to go to bed because it's bedtime. I was being rocked by the waves because you're still on the ship, and when you're like lying down, you feel it more than you're standing up. And it's like, okay, this is kind of nice. I'm being rocked to sleep. Okay, kind of bedtime. It's a hunk shoe. And then I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I was like being jostled, and I was like, oh, this is not what I fell asleep to. And I looked outside and the waves were all choppy and it was like a little stormy, and I was like, okay, maybe I can get back to bed. And I was just being thrown, and I was like, I guess I'm up.
That's kind of like claustrophobic scary.
I mean, in what way?
In that, like, when you're there, like, there is no getting off.
Oh yeah, you are on. Yeah.
Like, I've never done a
But
cruise,
like,
so what if I do get motion sickness, and then there's literally nothing you can do?
yeah, I mean, I guess, just take a bunch of melatonin and try to pass out, I guess. Shrug. Yeah. There are certain, like, so there were 17, 18 decks. Not all of them were available to the public. I believe only 16 were available to the public on this ship. And if you're, so like, in the middle of the ship, like, you know, there's the front of the ship, the back of the ship, bow and stern, if you will, port and starboard. And you can be on, like, you know, let's say 16 decks. If you're in deck 8 in, like, the middle of the ship, presumably you will feel it lesser to anywhere else because you're, like, in the center of it all. And so you're as far as away from the rough rockiness as opposed to being on the front or the back of the ship, like on the top of the deck where all the wind is, and it's whoa. But in terms of like how do you figure it out, I guess go on a normal boat ride and like see how you do and go from there. Maybe go whale watching or something.
Have you been whale watching?
Yeah, I did that before the cruise.
How was that?
It was pretty okay. Not to like, you know, nature is beautiful and animals are special and all that. But at a certain point you are like, that's a dorsal fin. Yep. Cool. Or that's the tail. That's a humpback whale. If you see the dorsal fin, it's probably an orca. If you see the tail, it's probably humpback. Um, and they, the expulsion of the water. I do know the signs to look out for if a whale is nearby or not. So that is kind of cool. And it was cool to, like, learn about them and stuff. But after, like, 4 hours of it, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Thank you. Which is, like, about the 6 hour mark they turn back. So works out well for me.
So you had to be on the boat for 6 hours?
Yeah,
Jeez.
because you gotta drive out to the ocean, or places that the whale watching company who owns the boat that you're going on, like, they know of locations where, like, typically whales, there's a family of whales that likes this area because it provides this resource to them. So we've seen them a lot here. So they'll drive out to maybe a certain, 5 miles out of a certain island that has a bunch of whatever. And then they're also, like, on the radios with other whale watching people being like, hey guys, did you see any whales? I got a boat full of people expecting whales. Who got the whales? And they're like, go to these coordinates. And they're like, thank you, Timmy.
Hey, that's a boat captain you're talking about. His name is Timothy.
I'm sorry. So yeah, it was cool. I've done it. It was fun. I don't think I would really do it again unless it was like someone else really wanted to do it. And I was like, I will go with you to participate in this as a bonding exercise.
Because you didn't see the value in the whales?
I mean, I don't know. I saw the, like, hey, do you like bird watching?
No.
Okay, do you want to bird watch for 6 hours? And that's your day?
No.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. And even if you did like bird watching, I think there's only so much of it where you're like, I'm gonna dedicate my day to this. And that's it.
Do you feel enriched for having tried it?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was a cool one or two time thing of, like, this was interesting to see everything and, like, how they identify whales and stuff, and, like, the signs to look out for a whale and everything, and it was fun and cool, and I enjoy being on the boats and the water. So that was also cool for me. But just after a certain point, I'm like, I have gotten everything I will appreciate out of this. Some people will be like, that just love watching animals will be like, I could do this 12 hours a day. And I know people like that, and good for them, and I hope they keep having fun and doing it. Personally, though, I'm good.
What did you said, like, oh, there's stuff on the ship. Did you go to any shows? Were there magic acts? Did you go to a casino? Did you, like, just sit around and drink all day? Like, what was your on-boat activity?
So I went to the casino for 5 minutes, put in $50, gained $5, lost $55.
Jeez.
And I was like, within the span of 5 minutes. And I was like, this was a good reminder why I don't do this. And I never went back. I went to, oh my goodness, I can words. I went to a comedy show. I forget the comedian's name. He was, I don't want to, hey, he's doing his thing and he's way more famous than I'll ever be. So no
Whoa, whoa,
shade.
whoa. You're the host of famous podcast Slapendipity Hobos of Happy Slappy Town.
Hey,
And
and he's more
and
famous.
you're the voice of Clifford the Big Red Dog's Head on Gibby's Horror Homestead and Gibby's Good Idea, Bad Idea.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to throw shade, but just so that people have an idea of the talents as far as I am aware. And maybe I'm just not culturally knowledgeable in this way, and I'm coming off really bad. But it was kind of hey, like C-list acts or like B-list acts that used to be big and then like kind of dropped off, or more like, I don't know. I know one guy was supposed to be really big, but I'd never heard of him. So like maybe in his sphere of skills and proficiencies, he's a big deal, but I just never participated in that. So I don't know. But I did go to a comedian, like comedy magic show that was just kind of more about like entertaining people and like encouraging others to be more so like teenagers and stuff, but like, hey, like I got into this stuff on a whim because someone showed me, so I would like to show others how they can also get into this, and it's like really cool, and it changed my life, and if it changes your life, that's amazing, and if it doesn't, I hope you appreciate, you know, the what he's trying to do. And it was very cool. And then their cruise line had its own staff productions. And I watched one of those, and it was very like abstract in its story, and it was mostly just hot people dancing.
Okay.
And I was like, because it was like the Star Show or something, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be like the Universal ride where like there's a star princess and she needs us to collect stardust and like restart the galaxy or whatever. I don't know. And it was just like hot people dancing, and you could infer that there was like a star crashed into the earth, and then there was a mermaid and she fell in love with a man, and then they died or something. It's really not intuitive, and I think you're supposed to be confused. But it basically boils down to getting one good singer to sing kind of like a jukebox one-hit wonders, and then a bunch of other people showing off how hot they are and their
Okay, so like
athletic
I don't understand
prowess.
what you mean when you keep saying that. What do you like? What
With it,
when I think showing off how hot they are, I'm like, okay, a hot person is like, oh, it's a muscular man on a beach, or oh, it's a thin woman on a
yeah,
beach. What do you mean? Are they
yes.
walking around in bikinis?
It
Like,
is.
what do you mean? Oh, show off how hot
It,
they are. Like,
it is. All of the men are only in pants with their abs rippling as they flex and pose and carry women around, and all of the women are conventionally attractive as they sing or dance and like wear form-fitting outfits and just kind of throwing their bodies at each other. And in dance, but also just like, you know, ooh, I don't know, like just spicy light entertainment of like, I guess maybe Cats the Musical. I don't know if that's
when I
apt.
think sexy, I don't think Cats the musical. Like, what do you? Listen,
I
I
don't know.
think I don't understand
just
your conceptuality
okay.
of sexiness, because you're like, oh, I went to watch a dance. Like, what? Oh, I went to watch a talent show. Like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Like, what?
People were in skin tight clothing showing off their best assets, passionately moving around each other, sweating profusely. And that's all I'm saying.
And when you think that, you think sex instead of, like, ballet or, like, just dancing.
No, but they did it in a provocative manner.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, because they were trying... I am convinced... They were... Part of the story was this mermaid falling in love with a human, right? So they... During at least that specific part, you had the man and woman leads, like, dancing provocatively to each other and around the audience, being like, ooh, this is a metaphor for us falling in love. So, this is how we're gonna move and stuff. And it wasn't, because it's also not overt. Like, a child could watch it and be like, the people are dancing and they're having fun. But if you're an adult, I think there's just a bit of not so innocent things you could interpret of, like, yeah, they're moving their bodies in very specific ways. I don't know what you want from me.
I want you to think before you speak. No.
Never.
No, like, you said that just as if it was something that made sense. I'm like, I don't follow.
Do you understand now?
A little bit, I guess.
Okay. For now, we're just gonna move on.
Okay.
And I'm sorry about that, because there's just more to get to.
Okay, can I say what I've done in the last week? Real quick.
Okay,
Okay,
real quick, sure.
I had a dream last night that there was a new Call of Duty game, and it was called Click of Duty, and they managed to make the game where you only use your mouse. And that was it. It was called Click of Duty Resident Tank. Wow. It had nothing to do with Resident Evil, it was just called the Resident Tank.
Okay.
That was it.
I feel like that could be possible, yeah.
That's it. Your turn.
Cool.
Passing the ball back to you, buddy.
Thank you. I didn't play any video games on this time. Brought it back. Instead, I went on a one of the excursions through the cruise line of a, like, Native American tour-esque thing that, like, highlighted the Native Americans that, like, lived in Alaska and, like, their history, a little bit of their culture of, like, past and current. It was very interesting to learn about. Well worth the, like, I don't know. I found it very enriching and, like, getting to see, like, a group of people in their culture, and, like, when they, like, I don't know, that, like, not, they tried to keep private, and it was, like, which I respect, but it was just nice to, like, see a little bit that they were willing to show us of, like, this is how we did XYZ, and this is how we are currently doing it, and, like, how do we persevere and, like, keep our traditions in life, and what does that look like in the current year, and we're gonna do one of our traditional dances and, like, show it to you, and what does it mean, and what do we think it means, because we actually didn't have a written history for a long time, and so we had to, like, hire someone to help write, like, come up with a written language, and, like, all these little nuances, and I was like, wow, this is fascinating.
Eric, when he sees people, wow, like a zoo.
True, but people are crazy.
And where was this specifically?
That was in Sitka with the Tlingit people.
Okay, no, like, where geographically?
Alaska. Like, you know how Alaska has some islands, like, not part of the mainland?
Like, it's
like
big old tail.
Mostly in the...
It got a tail.
It got a tail. Not quite in that, like... kind of in that... But, like, near the mainland. I don't know if that helps at all.
Just knowing it was on the tail is kind of what I was going for. That's fine. Was there snow on the ground? Was it
Um,
freezing cold, or does Alaska have land?
Alaska does have land. I am super wrong. It is not on the tail. Um, but it's like on the Gulf. Um, in the Gulf of Alaska, next to the mountains, like the coast mountains. Um, there was not any snow that I experienced. One of the mountains far off in the distance had snow on top of it, but not a lot. And it actually had some parts of it with no snow. And that's how a local was like, oh, that's how you know, like, summer's ending, because there's no snow. And, like, there is almost always snow. So, the cycle will continue. I experienced lovely weather for the most part, which was very lucky because it's rains like 260 days out of the year in Alaska.
But you didn't get no rain.
So that I got a little bit of rain in Juneau. But that was fine and cool. I appreciate the rain.
Did you go to, like, when you were on the land, we're like, oh, we're going to go to this museum. Like, did you plan it out ahead of time? Like, we're going to a museum. We're going to this food place. We're going to go on a hike.
So, for some of it, I did another excursion in Skagway where you can do the White Pass and Yukon Railroad, which takes you up the railroad on the train of the, like, White Pass and Yukon route made back in the day during the gold rush. And, like, it cuts through the mountains and goes around the mountains, like where the gold rush would have happened and where it, like, relates to Canada. And then it, like, turns around. So on that day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into town, walk around, and kill time until, like, 1 o'clock or whatever. Go on that for 3 hours, and it'll be 4 o'clock, and then the ship is leaving at 4:30. So then I'll just get back on the boat.
So one of my things, with cruises in general is, like, when you're coming back home, well, like when you're leaving a vacation, there's always the post-vacation sadness, right? But
yes,
there's also the, like, well, I don't have time to be sad because I have to, like, get to the airport and, like, on the plane or whatever. Like, I have to get home.
Right.
When you're on a cruise, you have, like, post-vacation sadness, but there's still, like, a day of sailing left. Was that, like, so, like, you've, like, oh, you're like, well, I could just sit here and be sad, or I guess I could go back to the bar for the 30th time. Like, how did that feeling feel?
It was okay. So for me, it wasn't the bar. I don't really drink. However, in the bars, they usually have trivia. So I did a lot of trivia.
Yo, are you good at bar trivia? I've never done it.
It depends on the category. Some of it, like, let me see. So some of it you would have been great at, as per example, what won the best Oscar, I think it is, for best film in 2023.
2023? Last
Yes.
year was the weird movie. It was like a Nora or something. 2023, probably Oppenheimer?
Nope.
I don't know then.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
yes. If I had thought harder, I may figure that out.
Right. Yeah. And then some of it's like, who's the author of Charlotte's Web?
E.B. something.
E.B. White.
Yes.
How many stomachs does a moth have?
5. 0. Moths don't eat.
Yes!
I knew that. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, you got it! What age was Tiger Woods when he won his first Masters?
19. I just totally guessed. I have no idea.
It might have been, actually. I think it was 19 or 21. So, like, you know, did I do well? Not really, but Hey, was it an animation question? I probably got
Oh
it.
my god. Did you do a team, or is it literally just you sitting there?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
You can have a team of up to 6 people.
Okay.
Um, so I did a lot of trivia. I went to an art auction once just to see what was up, and it was
Let me spend
lame.
$1 million on a painting in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, casual things. Um, but so specifically when it was like, oh, we gotta go back home, but also we gotta sail for a day, it's like, well, okay. Guess I'm gonna just indulge. I'm just gonna eat. They have a different type of pound cake every day, which I loved because it would be I like pound cake, but B, one day it's tropical pound cake, and next day it's like lemon lime pound cake, and it's just these little almost cupcake, maybe a little bit smaller than a cupcake, and I was just like, this is amazing and terrible for me. Um, I did buy a book at one point, so I was just occasionally read as well, or hang out with the fam. Just chill stuff, I would say. And because there is still a day left, it's like, oh, I'm being like, oh, we have to go to the airport tomorrow and deal with all that stuff. I will, ugh. It almost gives you more time for all the good and bad of the vacation ending. You just get more of that time. And
That's
then,
fine. Did you ever
yeah.
just like wistfully stare out over the ocean from the deck and be like, "Wow,
Oh,
look, it's the
yeah.
ocean."
Yeah. Easily. Easily. So, some rooms have their own balconies. Not all. I would say a decent amount do. You do have to pay a bit extra, I think. You can go on the top of the ship, and there's like a track like a racetrack that goes around the entire ship. But unfortunately, at night, the wind was so strong, and a little bit of rain, so they would close it down. Um, but we have a room with a balcony, so I would go out and be like, wow. And there was one night where it was a full moon, and it wasn't very cloudy, so the moon light is reflecting onto the water with ripples in it occasionally, and it was just a beautiful golden and this just like black sea, and it was so beautiful.
Lay sigh.
That's right.
Was there any like you're on the ocean and there's like rain clouds? Like, did that happen? Like a stormy sea?
Yeah,
Did you ever get up to see the
100%.
sunset or the sunrise? Was the sunrise in the ocean cool?
Yes. Yes. I didn't get up for sunrise because I'm just not about that. But yeah, sunset was cool. And then it goes down over the water, and you're like, whoa, a green flash happens. Cough, cough.
I don't know what does cough cough mean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yes, of course. How could I have forgotten a
Of
movie from 15
course.
years ago? I still haven't seen the first one.
Hey, what?
I've
What?
never seen the first Pirates of the Caribbean the whole way through.
Oh my
I've seen the
gosh.
ending and I've seen the very beginning. This
Well, that
the second one's the best.
you didn't even watch the first.
Second one's great. Third
Whatever.
one's okay. Fourth one's like, oh, this is fun. Didn't see the fifth one.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone did. Yeah, it was a cool, fun, chill time. No pirates, thankfully. As cool as they are in fiction, they are, didn't bother us. I don't actually know if that's a thing anymore. I think so, but yeah. What else happened? Not
Eric, I have a question for
Yeah,
you.
do you, yeah, I was
Did your
just about to ask if you have a question.
Yeah, did your parents keep your baby teeth?
Yes.
Okay, because I mentioned casually in a video that like basically I was reading a horror story, one of the FNAF stories, and one of the plot points is that like the guy stumbles on human teeth, and it specifically mentions some of them are baby teeth, and you're as the reader supposed to be thinking like, oh, is this a prank or is there a murderer out there picking people's teeth? And I'm like, well, the inclusion of the
Right.
baby teeth makes me feel like the guy, someone just went out and got whatever teeth they could find because like everyone has baby teeth in their house. And I got a few comments like,
Mm,
what are you talking about? Why would people have baby teeth?
yes.
And I'm like,
Right.
because your parents keep your baby teeth. Like they go and they, the tooth fairy comes and takes the teeth, and the parents like keep them somewhere. So I made a community post because I was tired. I got like 3 comments where people were like, "Why would you have baby teeth?" And I'm like, because that's normal and like correct. So I made a post, and I'm like, okay, guys, vote. Like, did your parents keep your baby teeth? And the comments are full of people saying, yes, yes, of course they did. The poll is 40-60 in favor of not keeping teeth. So I have only 40% of people says yes, but then I have 100 comments of people saying, of course they did. Mine kept mine in a Kinder Surprise capsule, lol.
Lols.
I swallowed some, but my parents kept the rest. I kept my son's as well. Um, yeah, teeth are really
So,
cool. I kept my own baby teeth. They're
mhm.
somewhere around the house. Like, yeah, of course that's... I cannot imagine being a parent and you take your child's baby tooth and you give them money because you're the tooth fairy, and then you throw it in the garbage? Like, what? Of course you keep your baby
Yes.
teeth.
Okay, so here's what I will say. My mother did keep my baby teeth, as well as my brother's. And not all of them. I guess, some of the times we lost our baby teeth was at school or whatever. So it's not like she had a full set of both of our baby teeth. And when I learned this, quite a while ago, years ago, I was like, oh, why? This is so weird. Why do you have my baby teeth? And she was like, oh, I just, yeah, why, and I was like, no, that's
No,
weird.
it's not.
It's so weird. I mean, I don't care. She can have my baby teeth. I think, I forget what she did with them now. She might have tossed them. She might have kept them. If she wants that, she can have that. But also, no, if I was a parent, I would not be like, and this is the little sack I'm gonna put your baby teeth in, and I'm just gonna look at them occasionally. Like, that's
No,
weird.
that's exactly what you do.
No! You're gonna be like, wow, the memory of my child is not enough for me, and I need to pull out their tooth from when they were 7, and they first lost this, and I can... I don't know. I mean, it's good component material if you're gonna do a ritual or something,
Oh
like
my god.
take the teeth of my child or something. But like, I'm not. And like, if you keep it for like a day or a week, that's one thing. You're like, ooh, I'm the tooth fairy, and I gotta make sure little Kevin doesn't know that I'm he sees his baby tooth in the trash or whatever. I don't know. But after a certain point, you're like, okay, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna bury it in the yard. I'm gonna make an elaborate setup so he doesn't see it in the trash or something.
If you bury it in the yard, it might grow a tooth tree, so that would be a little dangerous. My thought, so like I asked, when
Well,
I was a teenager, I asked my mom, like, hey, do you still have my baby teeth? Can I have them? And she had put them in a jar with my brother's teeth. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's pointless now.
because you don't know which is
Yeah, so I'm
yours.
like, okay, I guess I can't. So like, you kept them, but for what reason?
Well, yeah, what do you mean? What do you, this, okay, it's a little different for her because she can just be like, whatever tooth I grab is the person. I reminisce on, or I'm reminiscing on someone, so I can just grab any tooth.
As an adult, I would love to have my baby teeth, and so I would be grateful for my parents to have kept them. Just to have them! Like, why wouldn't you want them?
And do what?
To have them!
No! And why?
Why wouldn't you? It would be cool.
No.
No, you're the weird one.
Because it would be cool. Because it would be cool.
Yes.
Okay. I disagree, but okay.
Brah.
No, I want the past me that is dead to remain dead.
Okay.
I don't need to be like, ooh, this is my... I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm not about it. I think I understand the sentiment from a parent's or guardian's perspective up until a point. I don't know. I don't know. Because when I asked my parents, like, or however I learned about the baby teeth, I was like, I don't know, 23 or whatever.
You were 23 when you stopped believing in the tooth fairy.
No! When my mom was like, oh, here are your baby teeth. And I was like, what? But like, I don't know, I don't know. And at this point, even more time has passed, and it's like, why, what? I don't know. Maybe it's a thing with the human body in a very buried way that I have not fully uncovered. Because you keep mementos of other things, I guess. I think like, if your mom had a lock of your hair, would you be like, oh wow, that's like really cool?
Yes, because I don't have any
I would
hair.
like that. You still have hair, it's just not on your head. No, if my mom had a lock of my hair, I'd be like, that's wild. It's all very witch-coded to me. And I just don't see a purpose to it. Outside of sentimentality, but I think it's just a little weird sentimentality. But I get it. So...
Speaking of sentimentality, I can't believe it's been 79 episodes.
Wow.
That's a lot of episodes.
It is. What are you going to do with that many episodes?
I'm going to say, wow, we're almost at 80, and we'll be at 80 next time.
Bye, everybody. Remember,
brush your teeth.
Look for the expulsion blow when whale watching.
Yum, yum.
And brush your teeth.